staff hearing officer meeting for April 6, 2022. We're going to start off with preliminary matters, requests for continuances, withdrawals, postponements, or addition of ex-agenda items. I do not have any other than to say this is our first day back to in-person public hearings. So everybody who's in here, you all are guinea pigs. So we're testing out our technology, and thank you for being willing to. We might be making minor tweaks as we move along. So next is announcements and appeals. I have one announcement. This is an announcement of the staff hearing officer decision on a coastal development permit for a project at 2512 Murrell Road, PLN 2022-00019. Let's see. This is to allow the proposed development in the non-appealable jurisdiction of the city's coastal zone. The project consists of a proposal to construct a new 537 net square foot, single-story detached accessory dwelling unit at the rear of the lot pursuant to California Government Code 65852.2. The subject parcel is developed with a 1,040 square foot single-story residence with an attached 458 square foot two-car garage, which is proposed to remain. The 8,078 square foot lot is located in the non-appealable jurisdiction of the coastal zone with the coastal land use plan designation of low density residential and is zoned E3 SD3. So just and part of this to really understand is pursuant to the Santa Barbara Municipal Code, when a proposed development does involve the addition of an accessory dwelling unit to an existing single-family residence, the application shall be reviewed by the staff hearing officer without a public hearing, so that's why it's an announcement. There's no public hearing. I can accept written correspondence, but there will be no public comment today. There's no, this is, my decision is a final action of the city. So I did read the staff report for this project and went out on site to look, and it's a fairly straightforward project. I understand that it's close to a public view, but the one-story proposal is not going to have any adverse impacts. So I am, my announcement today is that I am approving the coastal development permit for this accessory dwelling unit project, and that it's consistent with all the policies of the California Coastal Act as described in the staff report. There won't be any adverse impacts to coastal resources, including public views, public access to the coast, or any kind of coastal bluff erosion. The proposed development is located in an area that's able to accommodate it. The parking and open space requirements have been met and maintained for the primary residence. Second, the accessory dwelling unit project is consistent with all of our applicable policies of the city's local coastal plan and all of our guidelines and provisions within the municipal code. Again, this particular accessory dwelling unit development won't have any kind of impact on public views or the fact that it's compatible with the neighborhood. My approval of this coastal development permit is with the conditions that are outlined in the staff report. So that's my decision on that, and we can go ahead and move on to the next item. Thank you. All right. Item number 2. Let's see. Oh. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. And now we're going to do public comment for items not on today's agenda. Sorry about that. Get to item C. So is there anybody here in the public who wishes to speak on items not on today's agenda? I don't see any speaker slips, and I don't think we received any.
No, we did not receive any general public comment for items not on the agenda today.
Thank you so much for keeping me on track. Okay, now we can move on to item A, which is 2706 Cuesta Road. Let's see. Give me 1 second.
Right. Sit here now. Okay.
So just to give you a preview, so Kelly's going to do the staff presentation first, and then you can use this laptop to go through the plans, and we have them preloaded. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over. Oh, hang on. Oops.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Okay, so this project is a 9,000 square foot lot. It's developed with a 1,504 square foot single unit residence with a 365 square foot non-habitable basement and a 527 square foot detached garage. The project consists of a request for a 765 square foot addition to the existing single-family residence, 365 square feet of covered deck, and the conversion of the existing garage into an accessory dwelling unit. The discretionary application under the jurisdiction of the staff hearing officer required for this project is an interior setback modification to allow alterations and encroachments into the interior setback. And we have Ms. Brodesson here today to give our presentation for staff.
Thank you, Ms. Kukenda. Yes, thank you, Kelly Brodesson, Community Development. Thank you for describing the project. This slide shows some photos of the surrounding neighborhood, and I want to go to the site plan. This is the existing site plan, so it shows the existing structure in the front. There's the street to the left, Cuesta Road, and the garage in the back. And then this is the proposed site plan. So on this slide, the street is to the right, and you can see the existing structure. There's going to be a new addition, and then the garage here will be converted to an accessory dwelling unit. And the purpose and intent, the existing structure, the house itself, is already illegal non-conforming to the existing interior setback. And the request is to demolish and rebuild the structure in the same footprint. However, to meet the new structural codes and guidelines, it will have to be a little bit taller in the setback. So this constitutes a substantial redevelopment. That means that this rebuilding of this structure within the existing 6-foot setback, even though the structure is already in the setback, would need a modification. Staff believes that this is a supportable modification because it would maintain the same plane as the existing exterior building wall and would not encroach farther into the setback. Staff believes that allowing the proposed redevelopment of the existing residence to maintain the existing building footprint and increase in height is necessary to secure an improvement on the lot, an appropriate improvement on the lot, and the proposal will not increase the amount of encroachment, will not have an adverse impact on the neighbor, and can be found consistent with purposes intent of the zoning ordinance. The project was also reviewed by design review for the deck. In reviewing the proposed covered deck, the board asked that the applicant studies ways to screen the deck to increase privacy through landscaping or other means for the adjacent neighbor, and study the quantity of fenestration on the south side of the residence, again to attempt to maximize privacy for the neighbors. So the board was supportive of the modification in general and will continue to review the deck and the encroachment and the fenestration when it returns subsequent to today's meeting. So with that, staff recommends that you approve the requested modification, making the findings in the staff report. We did receive a public comment letter from a neighbor. Let's see, Linda Fernandez. It doesn't say Linda's address, but she was concerned about soil stability.
She's on the north side. She's the neighbor to the north.
So was that forwarded to you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a copy.
So we did receive a public comment letter from her, and with that, I'll turn it over to the applicant.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Brodesson. And if you could just say your name for the record. And then you can walk me through, you can use the up or down arrows.
Okay. My name is Liz Hughes, here for Tom Oxner Architect, representing our client Seppi Day for the substantial redevelopment and addition of an existing single-story residence at Cuesta Road. I'm gonna go to this. Let's see. Okay. It's the architectural site plan. During our design review hearing, the board was interested in looking at screening for the neighbor's property and also showing the relationship between the existing adjacent residents. What the landscape architect has proposed is 2 macadamia nut trees that can grow here that would provide a dense tree canopy to shield views into the neighbor's yard. I did want to make a note that the existing deck extends about 11 feet past where, or the proposed deck extends about 11 feet past where the existing deck is. So, and the existing deck is actually a little bit larger in square footage than the proposed because it extends all the way across the backside of the existing residence. There is a fence along this property line that's on the neighbor's property. We went out there and walked on both sides of the fence. There isn't really any visibility into the neighbor's yard because of this existing fence. And we've discussed continuing the same fence on the other side of the property line, kind of stepping down. There's a steep slope along this edge, so we are going to continue a similar fence on our side of the property to maintain privacy between the 2 yards.
Ms. Hughes, do you mind, could you go down just a little bit?
Yeah.
Because my purview is really to look at the interior setback and that encroachment, that's the,
Yeah.
beyond the, within that.
Mm-hmm. So we have an overhang here of the 1'6", and then we're 3'6" from the property line. And this is the existing footprint of the building. So we're just maintaining that line to keep the existing foundation and utilize it for the new construction. And then where we have an addition in the back portion of the property, we're going back to the 6-foot setback. We do have a new proposed fireplace that encroaches into the setback, which is allowed per the municipal code.
And is that all of your presentation, or did you want to?
I could also show some of the elevations.
That'd be great.
If you're interested in
Absolutely.
looking at that. So here's the floor plan. This is just showing the location of that existing wall, where we're building a new wall in its place. And then the proposed elevations. Our building is, you can see here on the backside, the dashed line, oops. The dashed line here is the existing roof line of the house, and then this is our proposed roof line here. So we're not, I think we're extending about 3 feet 6 inches above, and we're just maintaining that existing setback on the side. This is a good one to see where that setback is, and then this is that existing wall location.
Does that conclude your presentation?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hughes, I appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna switch over to public comment. And I do not see anyone in the audience right now, but I do wanna say that I did receive, as Ms. Brodesson pointed out, a correspondence with Linda Fernandez. And that, we'll go ahead and close public comment, so we can make sure that that is in the record. Let's see, and actually, if we could go back to, Ms. Gu, if we could go back to the plans. Thank you. Okay, so my questions really had to do a little bit more with the substantial redevelopment. Generally, when a project is proposing substantial redevelopment, we would ask the applicant to then conform to the zoning ordinance and the different regulations. But I understand that there are some things that even though the majority of things will be coming down, could you tell me a little bit more about what you're trying to maintain so that you can keep that, the current line of existing development?
We're trying to maintain it as much as possible of the existing foundation so that, and then only provide, structural enhancements where required so that it's more of a cost savings for the owner rather than relocating that entire, it's about 38 feet of foundation footing wall. That's why we decided, I mean, it doesn't really change the design much to move it over the foot, but the reason why is just to maintain that existing foundation.
And then for that south side, I know that you received comments from SFDB about the fenestration. Had the fenestration changed, like, am I looking at a new
Yes.
proposal, or am I
You are
looking?
looking at a new proposal.
And can you walk me through, because I did watch that hearing, but if you could just, at least for members who are tuning in, it would be interesting to hear what you
Yes,
changed, even though I
so-
know they're gonna also be reviewing that as well, but
Yeah.
it's within my purview.
Here along this edge, we had a larger window in the bathroom, which we changed to a smaller, higher window. I believe this might also, it might have been this one, was a larger window. We basically just changed a few of the window sizes to make them smaller. And then when I went out there to walk the site with the neighbor on the north or the south side, they basically said there is no privacy concern for them. And I have pictures here if you'd like to see it, but we did reduce the window sizes, but also just more evidence that, you know, there isn't, this is a view from their side of the property.
Okay, and I'm just gonna ask City TV, I'm gonna put them underneath here, and they can zoom in, so members of the public can also see.
Yeah. So this is on our side, and this is the neighbor's side, and they really can't see through to the property at all. There's no visibility.
Okay, all right. Well, I certainly appreciate that explanation, Ms. Hughes. It's helpful. Again, as I mentioned, generally we ask people to, if there's substantial redevelopment, but I understand that it's been like that. There are particular development needs for building code reasons why. And I think you've done an ample job to address the privacy issues by updating the fenestration. I know that once this project is through, is past this process, you'll go back to Single Family Design Board, and they will be the ones kind of addressing more of potentially privacy issues and with compatibility with the back porch. So that's not in my purview today. But yeah, I think you've done an ample job of addressing my concerns. I don't think that this is gonna be a privacy issue or pose any nuisance. It's a very handsome design overall. So I can go ahead and make the findings that this interior setback modification would result in a development that's consistent with the existing patterns of development in the neighborhood, promote uniformity, and that this wall along the south, you're not proposing to encroach anymore. You're really maintaining the existing line of development, which is something that the neighbors have been used to. And that the increase in height is really necessary, again, to secure an appropriate improvement to the residents as a whole. So I don't have any, and in terms of, like, I can also say that this project will meet the intent and purposes of our city municipal code. So with that, I'm making the findings in the staff report, and there are no additional conditions that I'm adding to this project. So thank you very much, I appreciate it. All right. And, there's an appeal period, thank you. So if you, Kathy, if you could switch over to screens, yes. We do have a 10-day appeal period for this project, so anyone who wishes to do so can appeal by submitting in writing and following the directions on the screen. Similarly, any member of the Planning Commission could suspend my decision if they felt it warranted that. Okay, great. Okay, next on deck, 1721 Olive Street. So this is a 5,000, hang on just a second. Do we need to have a quick pause, or do we have an applicant here? Okay. Let's have a quick pause. We'll If I could ask City TV, we'll do, sorry. We will reconvene and let's try, we'll give it 5 minutes and then you can call. The staff hearing officer meeting for April 6th, and moving on to item B, 1721 Olive Street. So this is a 5,500 square foot site that's currently developed with a 2,439 square foot, two-story, single-unit residence with attached carport. The proposed project involves permitting the existing unpermitted 130 square foot kitchen addition on the south side of the house. The addition is set back approximately 3.5 feet from the property line rather than the required 6 feet. The discretionary application under the jurisdiction of the staff hearing officer required for this project is an interior setback modification to permit the addition within the required setback. The project is negligible expansion of the existing residential use, and staff has determined that it's exempt from further environmental review pursuant to California Environmental Quality Act guidelines 15301 and 15305, which is applicable to the requested zoning modification. So this item is, we are going to postpone this item to a date certain of May 4th. And that should conclude today's staff hearing officer meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you so much, everyone.